Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing well. So I decided to ask you guys on one of my community posts to send in some questions all to do with manifestation and affirmations and specific people and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be answering those questions in this video today. So I would actually like to continue making these kind of videos. So if you do have any questions that you would like me to answer, drop a comment below and I will be sure to answer it in the next video. So let's get into it. Okay, so question number one, I've got my laptop here. When I manifest, is there such a thing as too many affirmations, or should I stick to a few specific ones? I absolutely love this question because I love affirmations. And the short answer to this is yes, you should try and stick to a few affirmations at a time. And generally the reason for this is just the fact that with affirmations, the way that they work is that the repetition is the thing that will essentially create the new neural pathway in your brain. Sorry to get all sciencey, but that is basically what it is. That is how you impress your subconscious mind through repetition. So if you have loads and loads and loads of affirmations, especially to the point where you can't say all of your affirmations through and through, every single one of them, without forgetting one or, you know, that kind of thing, then I would say that you probably have too many affirmations. So for me personally, I like to stick to 10 to 12 affirmations at a time. So for example, when I first started on my journey, I focused on the main affirmations that were extremely specific to my needs and to my triggers and to my limiting beliefs, and basically the ones that I just wanted to work on in terms of my self-concept. So I had about 10 to 12. I think when I first started I had about 10, and I basically had those affirmations on repeat for a good few months, maybe around 3 to 4 months. I was so focused on those affirmations. Now, it's not to say that you can't have other affirmations that you want to include in there, but just remember that it is the repetition that is key. So make sure that the affirmations that you have, you are repeating them as much as you possibly can, and that you actually remember all of the affirmations that you are saying. Nothing wrong with having a few more, but just remember, repetition is key. Let's see, next question. Oh, these comments are so lovely. So, how do we draw in a person in love, a husband we have never met? I don't want someone from the past. They are an ex for a reason. I want someone new. I want a brand new person that will one day become my husband. Once again, thank you. You are an amazing, beautiful soul. Oh, thank you very much. That is so lovely. Okay, so this question is obviously to do with manifesting in a specific person. Now, for me personally, in the past, I have been able to manifest specific persons, peoples into my life, but because I was not extremely focused on self-concept, when they came in, eventually they left, because I'm the one that needs to change. There is no one to change but self, as Neville Goddard says. And just in general life, that is something that you should live by. There is no one to change but self. You can't change other people. You can just change the way that you behave, the way that you interact with those people, and the way that you handle things. And then that is essentially how the other people in your life will change. So I would say that the best way to manifest someone in is to focus so much on self-concept and to basically just fall in love with yourself. Do all the things that you want to do all the things that make you happy, because it's all about getting into the state of happiness, getting into the state of gratitude, getting into the state of love. And the best way for you to do that is to essentially give yourself that. So do activities, do things that bring you joy, focus on yourself, work on all of the different areas of your life. Focus on you. That is basically what I'm saying. So focus on your career, focus on how you look, focus on, you know, the way you dress, the way you do your hair, the way you do your makeup, all of that stuff. I hate to use the word selfish because I feel like it really has quite bad connotations, but essentially you just want to make your life about you. Not to say that you need to push you know, your friends and family to the side or anything like that, but your main concern in your life should be you. And because you will be doing all of these things that bring you joy, bring you happiness, bring you love, self-love, essentially, like I said, that will put you in that state. And the thing that I love about this is that sometimes you don't even like realize it. Like, you know, they say hindsight is 2020. You might not realize it until a few months later, where you look at yourself and you're like, wow, these last few months have actually been really amazing. Like, my life has been so wonderful and I've been doing all of these things. So sometimes when you're actually in the moment, you might not realize it. It's only after that you can be like, this has been a really good, you know, few months or whatever. So one thing that I have really found useful in my life and working on my self-concept, and I guess this can work in all areas of your life, whether you're you know, manifesting a specific person or whether you just want to work on your self-concept. One of the things that has truly worked for me is to have hobbies. Have things that you really enjoy doing, whether that's something that you do by yourself or it's something that you do with your friends. But I would definitely say to try and find a hobby that you can do by yourself, because when you have hobbies and when you have things that you're working on and all of that stuff, that is what builds your self-esteem, and that is what essentially builds trust within yourself. You learn to trust yourself again, and it basically just helps you just to build that self-love. So I would say definitely get some kind of hobby, activities you can do, and also put yourself out there. And when I say put yourself out there, what I mean is get out into the world. Explore the world so that you can essentially explore yourself, explore who you are, explore your likes, explore your dislikes, and that will put you on the path to, you know, manifest your desires. And the thing that I love about manifestation a lot of the time, if not all of the time, is that everything is working in the background, and sometimes you might not even see that this thing that you're doing here is now going to lead your specific person or whatever you're manifesting. It's going to lead you to that person. Boom, you've now met. Do you see what I mean? So if you now say, okay, do you know what? I'm going to start going to the gym because I want to love my body a little bit more. I want to get strong. I want to get fit. I want to get healthy, all of that stuff. So you now start a new gym. And let's say in, I don't know, a week's time or in 3 months' time, your specific person randomly, it's not really random because I truly believe that there's no such thing as coincidences. Your specific person now decides, you know, you've been going to the gym for 3 months. Your specific person has now decided on this random Friday afternoon that they now want to join your gym. So it's one step closer, yeah? Then you decide, I actually prefer going to the gym Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not gonna go on Thursday, Friday, Saturday anymore. You now go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. Your specific person goes on Wednesdays and Sundays. So now you guys, again, one step closer. Do you see how this works? So there's always things going on in the background, and that is why I really love my affirmations that I created for my Everything is Working Out For Me. Everything is always working out for me video, because it is so true. There's always things going on in the background, and just because you can't specifically see it does not mean that things are not working out for you. So that was the long answer to that question, but the short answer is get yourself out there, start doing things that you enjoy, start doing things that you love, fall in love with yourself, enjoy all of these new activities, new hobbies and everything that you're going to be doing, and put yourself into the state of loved. happiness, peace, all of that stuff. That is what will essentially lead you to your desire. Okay, so the next question is, I have much attention for dates, not SP yet, SP specific person. Is it okay to go on dates in the meantime? Helps me feel good and self-concept. Yep. I feel sure that SP is next and on the way in 3D. Lovely. Will a date with others help or hinder? So I genuinely do believe that it will help. And the main reason why I think that it will help is because it will essentially, I don't obviously know any of your limiting beliefs or anything like that, but if, for example, one of your limiting beliefs is that you feel like you're not good enough, then by going on dates with other people will show you that, you know, oh, I am desired. People do find me attractive. People do find me sexy or whatever it is. So I would definitely say that it will help. And also it will help you to take your mind off of your specific person. And you know, when people talk about detachment and all of that stuff, it's not to say that you should just forget about your specific person or whatever. That's not what I'm saying, but it will just help you not to be thinking about them all of the time. And I think that sometimes when it comes to manifesting a specific person, if we are trying to manifest them from that state of lack or from that state of desperation, like energy doesn't lie, guys. Like, even though they might not necessarily know that you are, you know, trying to manifest them or whatever, sometimes people, not even sometimes, all of the time, people can feel and sense energy. So even though you might not outwardly be messaging them, calling them, speaking to them or whatever, people can pick up on energy. So I would say, to help you get out of that state of not having them, by going on these dates, it will help to take your mind off of that. And also I feel like it will help you figure out things that you like, things that you don't like when it comes to dating and when it comes to relationships. And I feel like that is obviously very, very important. So I would say definitely date other people. And also, even though you are, you know, manifesting this specific person, I personally don't believe in one soulmate. Some other people might believe that, but I don't necessarily believe that. So you could, whilst you're manifesting this specific person, or you're manifesting them in the background, whilst you're going on dates with these other people, you don't know, you could form an even better connection with someone that you didn't even think, you know, you would form a connection with, if that makes sense. And also another thing, when it comes to dating, I feel like a lot of people place so much pressure on dating, but you don't know who you could meet and have a connection with that has absolutely nothing to do with, you know, like romantic love or anything. You could find a new friend, you could connect with someone in terms of like business or career, or just it literally could open you up to so many different options. So I'm all for dating other people whilst you are manifesting your specific person. Okay, so the next question, or the next comment: you are wonderful and your videos are so magical. Thank you very much. How do you deal with hot and cold behavior and no communication? Oof, I have been here before, and I know that it doesn't feel very nice. So I completely understand where you're coming from. But in terms of dealing with hot and cold behavior, I think this is the bit that kind of like spun my head when I first started learning about manifesting and all of that stuff. That hot and cold behavior is a result of, it's a result of you, basically. Everyone is you pushed out, as Neville Goddard has said. And once you realize that, it will basically turn your attention onto yourself, because it allows you to start thinking, what hot and cold thoughts am I having that is now creating this hot and cold behavior? Or what thoughts am I having about this person not wanting to speak to me or not wanting to communicate with me that is now leading to this no communication? So I would say take a long, hard look at your thoughts, think about it, you know, have a look at what are these things that you are thinking, because I know from my experience, when I was experiencing hot and cold behavior, it was essentially because one day I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you know, we get on so well, we really like each other, blah blah blah. And then the next day I would be like, oh my god, did I say this wrong, or maybe he doesn't like me because of this, and blah blah blah. No, we're not doing that anymore. So yeah, I would say take a look at your thoughts, take a look at your feelings, and then you'll be able to navigate it a bit better. In terms of actually dealing with it specifically, I would say to kind of back away a bit. I know you said that you're not in communication, so for now I would leave it at that, and I would focus solely on self-concept. And the reason why I would focus solely on self-concept is because once you start focusing on self-concept, everything in your life will change for the better because you are working on yourself. That is the truth of it all. So a lot of these questions, the answer will be to go back to self-concept and to go back to focusing on yourself. And I know that sometimes when people say, you know, just focus on self-concept, blah, 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 it's all fair and well to listen to, you know, self-concept affirmations and everything. But if in your day-to-day life, you are not focusing on self-concept, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to manifest what you want. And that is because of your mental diet, essentially. So what I mean by that is, if you are, you know, before you go to bed, you're visualizing and you're listening to affirmations when you go to bed, and you're listening to sleep tapes and all of that stuff, but then when you wake up in the morning, your first thought is, oh, today's going to be such a rubbish day, or oh, I still haven't heard from my specific person, or anything like that, and then throughout the day those negative thoughts are continuing, can you see here why things aren't going to work? Because you're not working on yourself throughout the day. So that's why I always say to people, when it comes to self-concept, it is great to do your affirmations and everything, but also make sure that you are doing things in your daily life that will help you to grow as a person and learn to love yourself, and, you know, have that commitment to yourself, your journey, and who you actually want to be as a person. Okay, so the next question is how to get commitment from SP and to get consistent modeling jobs. Me and SP, we are in contact and we see each other a lot, but no commitment yet. How do I get that with the 3D being not so great? Okay, thank you for your question. Okay, so first things first, 3D doesn't matter. Right now, as it stands, don't worry about the fact that your 3D is not looking how you want it to look. I understand that it can be difficult to persist when, you know, it feels like there's this like craziness going on in the 3D and everything is almost showing you that your manifesting is not working. Throw that in the bin. We're not going to believe that. Right now, I need you to focus on you. This is going to be my answer for everything, guys, but it really is the truth. You need to focus on yourself, because when you focus on yourself, your specific person will focus on you. When you focus on your specific person, they will focus on themselves. And just based off of your question, I can tell that, you know, you're feeling like things aren't going your way. And if you consistently think those thoughts, that is what will manifest into your life, essentially. So I need you to listen to the everything is always working out for me affirmations, whether it be the sleep tape or whether it be I think I've got a 15-minute one on my channel. I would say to definitely listen to that. And I want you to do more things that bring you joy. Do more things that make you happy. Build up that trust and that commitment and that dedication to yourself. Because I'll tell you now, when you show that you are committed to yourself, that you're dedicated to yourself, and that you love yourself, it in turn shows people this is how I expect to be treated, essentially. That is why when you are, you know, in a kind of like desperate mindset or coming from a place of lack, and you are focusing so much on other people and you're not focusing on yourself, you are giving people the signal that they can also not focus on you and not put you first. That is just how it works in life. Everyone is you pushed out. So you saying that, you know, you want commitment from your specific person, I want you to show that commitment to yourself first. Show that commitment, show that love, show that dedication to yourself first, and I guarantee you, your life will change for the better. And in terms of getting consistent modeling jobs, I want you basically, I don't know whether you guys know about Louise Hay. I've read one of her books. I can't remember what the name is now. How to Heal Your Life, I think that's what it's called. And she basically talks about doing mirror work. So looking at yourself in the mirror and saying your affirmations to yourself. And I definitely do this. I feel like I do this most of the time when I've just like washed my face and, you know, I've put on my SPF and I'm feeling revitalized. So I do it then, and I also do it as I'm putting like my makeup on or as I'm doing my hair. I'm like, oh girl, look at you, you're looking good today. Like that is literally how I speak to myself in the mirror. And I basically want you to do that as well. I want you to look in the mirror and say to yourself, oh, that is a model's face. Would you look at that? That is what I want you to do. I want you to tell yourself that you are a model. I am a model. I am. The most powerful words that you could say in life. So I want you to tell yourself, I am a model, and I want you to put yourself out there as if you are already modeling left, right, and center, catwalk, everything. That is what I want you to do. And I want you to apply for modeling jobs and be persistent with it. If you get knocked down once, if you get knocked down twice, if you get knocked down 3 times, I want you to get back up and I want you to try again. Okay, that is what I want you to do in terms of the modeling side of things. I think that that is really important when it comes to things like manifesting like a career, in this case modeling. Yeah, when it comes to manifesting like jobs, a career change, all of that stuff, one of the keys in all aspects of life, to be honest, but more specifically when it comes to jobs and career, because of, you know, like interview process and all of that stuff, is to be so persistent, even if the door is slammed in your face. Keep going. This is basically what happened to me, and this can also lead on to the next question, which is basically someone asked me to share more stories about things that I have manifested. So I'll give you just a really like quick one about how I manifested a new job. This happened last year, November, and I started the job in December. So the place that I was working at, I was really unhappy. I just felt like the culture, the vibe, everything about it just was not me. The energy was just so off, and I felt like it was almost leading me to, how can I word it? Basically, I was too good for the job. That is the long and short of it. And I knew that I was too good for the job. But when you are in situations, and this can relate to job, this can relate to relationships, this can relate to friendships, everything. When you are in a situation where you know deep down that you can do better, but you stay in that situation, what actually happens is you end up losing a lot of belief in yourself, and you start to question like, well, maybe this is what I should just do then, because it almost just like, it sucks the life out of you. When you are in situations that no longer serve you, but you continue to stay there, it genuinely does suck the life out of you. So with this job, I felt like that is what was happening. I would wake up every day and I would just be so like upset, so angry, so frustrated, like, oh, like I hate this job, I hate this job. And obviously because of that, I was in a really horrible state of just unhappiness. And that's not cool. You don't want to be, you don't want to feel like that, you know, and especially with something like a job. it's Monday to Friday, it's 5 days a week. That is a lot of time for me to be in such an unhappy state of mind. Not cool. So basically, I wrote down a list of everything that I wanted from my next job. I wrote down the fact that I wanted to work from home. I wrote down how much money that I wanted to make. I wrote down what kind of business I would like to work for. I wrote all of that down. The only thing that I didn't write down is the hours, and we'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, so I wrote all of it down, and then I said, okay, cool, time for me to start looking for jobs. And that is basically what I done. I started looking for jobs, and I found that I was finding jobs where there was just like one thing that just wasn't on my list. But because I was coming from this state of desperation and lack, and not trusting that the right job will find me, or that I would find the right job, I was applying for jobs that I knew deep down I didn't want to work there. I just wanted to escape my job. So I was applying for these jobs, and like, it was so weird because there was just like random things that would just happen. So one of them that I did really want, although it wasn't full-time working from home, it was 3 days a week, 2 days in the office. I went for the job. I got offered an interview, and then 2 days before my interview, they told me that they had interviewed someone that day and they had decided to go with that person. And obviously I was like, ugh, but I really wanted this job. Again, coming from that lack mindset. So after that happened, I said to myself, no, you are willing to settle. And that's not right. We shouldn't settle, guys, because like I said before, when you settle and when you know that it's not actually what you want, you will just end up being unhappy anyway. So I said to myself, no, I know the type of job that I want. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to find it, or it is going to find me. Some way, somehow, I'm going to find it. Then I remembered there was a company that my old job, or the job that I wanted to leave, we had kind of been in contact with them, but not really. So they're not essentially like competition, but we work within the same field. I just decided, do you know what? I'm going to have a look on their website and see whether they have any jobs. Lo and behold, they had a job. I applied for the job, and my friend had given me some really good advice. She said to me that when it comes to your CV is just always going to be boring, whether you like it or not, because that's just what CVs are there for. They are just there to tell you, these are the previous, jobs that I've had in the past, and blah, 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 blah. But she said, the way that you can shine is with your cover letter. And she gave me some advice. So this is good advice for anyone that is looking for a new job. Make your cover letter show your personality. And that is basically what I done with my cover letter. I started randomly talking about what I get up to on the weekend and how I love going to like day parties and brunch and all of this stuff, because it still allows me to be in bed by 10 p.m. because deep down I'm a granny. Like, that is basically what I spoke about. I spoke about the fact that I have like 10 cups of tea a day. Looking back on it now, I feel a little bit embarrassed, but it's quite funny anyway. But yeah, that is what I wrote in my CV, in my cover letter, sorry. And I applied for the job, and they basically got back to me, or the director of the company asked to speak to me. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Anyway, so we've now had a chat, and he's basically said, I looked at X amount of cover letters and CVs that week, but it was yours that stood out to me. And I was like, oh my God, this actually worked. And then he said, we'd really love to interview you. Hi guys, sorry, editing Patrice here. Just thought I'd mention, because I completely forgot to mention this when I was recording earlier, but the job that I went for, I was in the midst of doing a qualification, but because I hadn't done that qualification yet, the director basically said to me, because you don't have this qualification yet, we can't give you the job that you've applied for. However, we would like to interview you for this other job. which by the way was not on their website. So yeah, just thought I'd add that in because I feel like that's a very important part of the story. So I was like, okay, cool, perfect. So interview came now. I have a really weird limiting belief that I really need to work on. But basically I have this belief in my mind that I am really, really rubbish at interviews, but that I always get the job anyway, for whatever reason, whether they like my personality, I don't know. And that is basically what happened in my interview. I personally felt like I didn't interview very well, but they offered me the job. And when he rang me to tell me that I had got the job, he actually said to me, he was like, it was your CV that sold it for me, and I knew that I wanted to hire you. And it was everything that I had written down on, you know, I'd written the list of everything that I wanted. It was everything that I wanted. However, the one thing that I didn't write down was the hours, because I don't know, I just didn't think of that. Anyway, so it is more hours than what I was working before. So that's proof that, you know, sometimes you do need to be a bit more specific when it comes to your manifestations and what you write down. But essentially, aside from that, it is everything that I had written down. So yeah, that's basically my story about how I manifested my new job. And also about 3 weeks ago, I also manifested a new car. I think what I'll do, I'll make a video about that because it is a bit of a long one. But yeah, I really do enjoy, you know, sharing these manifestations with you guys, just to show you, you know, proof that if you do work on yourself, if you work on your self-concept, if you are, you know, so specific about your manifestation and your desire, that you can get it. You just have to obviously put in the work for yourself as a person, and then everything will follow through from that. But yeah, guys, I have, oh, very loud. I have answered all of the questions that I've got. So thank you to everyone that sent in your questions. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of the video, I do want to make this more of a consistent theme across my channel where I do answer some of your questions. So like I said, if you do have any questions to do with all things manifestation, affirmations, and just life in general, make sure to leave a comment below and I will be sure to answer it in the next video. Also, just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. And if you are here and you are not subscribed, but you really enjoyed the video, definitely make sure to subscribe. Definitely make sure to hit that like button. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.